Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream with your host today, me. You see, I didn't even realize I was going to go live today, but then I was like, you know what? I got to go live. Do you know why we got to go live today? You probably already know because of the title of the live stream. Well, the reason why we have to be live today is because I missed it. 2 days ago was the 6th, and that was the day that I started my YouTube channel. This channel right here, 14 years ago. So the Vegan Zombie YouTube channel is now 14 years old. So I figured, I knew it was coming up, and I wanted to do a live stream, but then the 6th came along, and I was like, totally didn't remember. And then yesterday I was like, oh my God. But it was too late yesterday for me. I mean, I could have done a really late one, but I figured let's just do it today. So welcome to my live stream for the 14-year anniversary of the Vegan Zombie. I know it's been a decade and a half almost that we've been doing videos on this channel, the Vegan Zombie channel. So I hope you guys liked them. I guess if you didn't, you wouldn't be here at the live stream anyway. So here we are. Thank you, Linda. You like the shirt? My Zombie Crew shirt. Zombie Crew. It's really nice outside, but it's freezing down here in my office. How's everyone doing? Thank you. I figure we'll do a little Q&A today. That rhymed. If you guys have questions, then we'll go. We'll do some kind of fun live stream. The last one we did on my other channel, we were talking about 80s movies. Well, just movies in general, I think. But I don't really have anything really planned. We don't have a Vegan Cuts box or anything today. So I know some of you wanted me to repost some of the old videos from way back in the day, and I think I might do that on maybe a Flashback Friday. Maybe I'll do a little intro like, hey, we filmed this video a very long time ago, and I decided that, it got lost in the archives. Let's bring it back up there. I hope you guys enjoy. Something like that. I don't know. One of my favorite moments from the past 14 years, I really like doing the cookbook tour in Germany. That was fun. Well, most of it. And just making a cookbook, that was pretty cool. Doing some really cool zombie themed videos at different places like the Palace movie theater here in Syracuse, and Shopping Town Mall, which is totally abandoned now. And we did a video there, and Strong Hearts Cafe. We did a good one there. Those were some of my favorite Vegan Zombie moments that I go back to, and I'm like, wow, we had so much fun doing that. And look at all that. We had a lot go into those videos. It's very cinematic. I just did a quick little vlog earlier today, and I also uploaded a video today. If you guys, well, I actually uploaded it a few days ago, and people on Patreon got to see it last night, but it's live right now, and I feel like a lot of you guys like to see taste test review videos with other people. So I did the taste test video with the new Vego crisp bars with my parents. So we go into a little bit of banter back and forth there, and it's on the channel now. So if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out afterwards. It's a fun little video with my parents. We talk a little bit about some of the things when I was growing up, Neil Diamond, and I got a little clip in there of me skateboarding back in 1990. So way back in the day kind of stuff. I've been planting my seeds and letting the plants grow, and I just transplanted some of them a little bit ago, and There's a lot of ticks out here. I found a couple of ticks on me in the last few days, and I found one on Indy too. Not like attached, but like, walking around doing its little thing. Not fun finding ticks. So. Linda, did you post that with Bitly because it doesn't work? I think you got to post the whole thing, or maybe I have to post it. That link doesn't work under Bitly. It says it's harmful. It's not harmful, but it says it. Oh, there's ticks even when it's like cold here. TikTok. Yeah. Oh, and it was pretty cool when I got this. The vegan zombie over 100,000 subscriber YouTube thing. It's kind of like I don't know, like a remembrance of, hey, look what happened. That was pretty cool. I could open the window and let the warm air come in, but I don't want to do that because like I don't have like air conditioner here at the house. There's no central air in this house. So when it gets on days when it gets really hot, it's really nice to come down here because it's nice and cold. So I keep that. I keep that like that. What kind of plants am I growing right now? Well, let's see. I have some peas and some carrots, and I have peppers and potatoes, onions. I'm excited about the potatoes. I've never planted potatoes. Green beans, and there's some tomatoes, and then different herbs like dill and basil, and I even got some lavender and sunflowers. So let's hope they all grow. Right now, the peas are like, or the green beans are like that tall, and that's only like a week. So if you want to see some of the stuff I planted, I have a video on my second channel, the Chris Cooney channel. You're finally catching a live stream, Angelica. Is it Angelica or Angelica? But I'm glad you're here, because this is a very special one. I mean, I don't really have anything planned, but this is the 14-year anniversary of the Vegan Zombie. We're only 2 days late. What's up, Mantis? But now that it's been a lot nicer, I've been outside with the dogs. I've been splitting wood. That's a good workout. That the axe alone is about 20 pounds, and then just going down with enough force to split that wood, because you can't split it. I mean, I can't do it every single time because that wood is super hard. But it's a good workout. Get to split the wood for when it still gets cold here. I have fires, so splitting the wood provides for fires, and it gives me a good workout. You're growing trees and peppers right now. What kind of trees? Oh, that also reminds me. I was looking in the backyard, and I think I have some maple trees out there, and I wanna try to make some homemade maple syrup if I can. I don't think they're sugar maples, but oh, Angelica Houston, yes. Angelica Houston was in Buffalo 66, correct? Angelica Houston. Or, wait, I always get it mixed up. Wasn't she in... Wait, was that her that was in Great Expectations? That's another one of my favorite. Not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. I like that movie. Hey, Mel. Hey, Huff. DF. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I don't know if it's maple. See, I downloaded the Google Lens where you just like take a picture and it tells you what everything is. The leaves look like maple leaves, but when I put it on the bark, it says it's something completely different. So I guess I don't know. I don't know. I have it in a new video. Well, maybe somebody else can help me out there, but I'd like to try it out. I'd like to see if I can get make my own maple syrup. Now I know it's like I guess it's not like really hard, but it's a very long process. Like I think it's like 40 gallons of sap for a gallon of maple syrup. So I won't be making too much. But if some of these trees out there are maple, there's some pretty big trees on the land. So why not? Ann Bancroft, right. So Angelica Houston was in Buffalo 66 then. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, you watched the Gary Yourofsky? I was going to re-upload that to the channel because it's on my second channel. It's not on this channel. And I feel like that's one of the videos that got lost in time on my channel. So, see, here's the problem. The problem with that is that video got demonetized. It's really stupid. I argued it, but it got demonetized. And here's the problem with that. So it got demonetized because there's a part in that video, which is an excellent speech, where he says he wants you to watch where your food comes from, which I agree with, but a lot of people don't like to see that. And YouTube deemed it inappropriate. So they demonetized it. And I'm like, how is that inappropriate? It's showing you where your food's coming from. But they did. They demonetized it. And, that's not just for like selfish reasons for me to make money, but it's also when they demonetize stuff, they don't suggest it anymore. So then it kind of gets buried and nobody sees the video. And it got 750,000 views on it, and then it just stopped. And I tried to dispute it, but I lost. So I was thinking if I re-upload it and I just cut that part out, I mean, it's still an amazing speech and it's like a minute that I'd be cutting out, then maybe it won't get buried again and demonetized. And people really they can go back to the original and watch it, but they got to kind of find it. The cool thing about that one also is I filmed the Q&A afterwards as well. So you get to see a little bit of Q&A with Gary. And then we have a vlog that we did a long, long time ago, right before we filmed that video, where we were at one of our friends' house and we were talking to Gary and he's like telling all kinds of stories, kind of like a behind the scenes, of us, just kind of chilling out and stuff, if you guys are interested. It keeps popping up. You must have searched it out then. And there's several of them out there. So the one that I have is the best speech ever, his revised edition, because he wanted to. So that was how that all started. Like we met up with him, and we ate dinner, and then we went back, and then we were talking about the video, and he was. Oh yeah, I saw that little glitch there, and he was kind of saying like, I can't find anybody to film my video, but like his original one was like an hour and 15 minutes long. He's like, I've perfected it. I got a better speech than that one. I got one that's condensed down to 45, 50 minutes, easier for people to watch, to keep their attention. And I really want it filmed, but I can't find anybody. Everybody that says they're going to do it, they all back out. And I'm like, well, I'll film it. And he's like, well, if you want to, that, he was like, if you want to, but if you back out, you'll just be like the rest. And I'm like, no, I'll film it. So he's like, all right, well, I'll get a hold of you and I'll let you know where I'm going to be on the East Coast. And then he let us know that he was going to be in Harlem at a community college in Harlem, New York. So John and I got in the car and we drove down there. We set up our cameras. John is not a camera guy, so at the time he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, just point the camera. Just point the camera, make sure the red button's on, and make sure it's in focus. That's all you got to do. So he was on one side of the room, I was on the other side of the room, and we filmed Gary do a speech. And the people in the class had no idea what the speech was going to be about or anything, I think. And it went over really well. And then after that, we went out to lunch at Candle Cafe. And I think that was the last time I saw Gary, and that was 2014. Yeah, Trini, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, if I could make maple syrup, I could also make a video on this. Or I could make green maple syrup and call it vegan zombie syrup, or I don't know. But I, then I found out it takes 40 gallons to make one. I'm like, all right, that's not going to happen. I'll just make my own if I can do it. You were just talking about Buffalo 66. I was too. Let's see if that works now, Linda. Now it works. Okay, thank you. So that works. I'll just go ahead, and if nothing else comes up, I'll pin it. It's pinned. Yeah, that was her. Yeah, she does a really good job. I love Buffalo 66. I used to watch that at least once a year. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I never put up anything that would be demonetized, but then when I put something up, it gets flat. Like, okay, so for instance, I've seen like a lot of on TikTok, like I'll see things that's like I'll see like a real crime or like an assault taking place, and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy, you know. And then I go and I upload I can't say exactly what it is because I don't want to like ruin the movie, but it's my movie. It's like a scene from my movie, like fake, not real. And I thought it would be fun because the way we had this was from a convenience store video camera, security camera. And I uploaded that just to get people excited. Like, what is this? What's going on? And like, hey, that's A44, you know? I put it up there, and the algorithm right away just banned it and said, this is a strike, a violation strike. You can't put up violence like this. I'm like, it's not violence. It's fake. This is a movie. Like, how can you post half the stuff on there, but I can't post something that is a creative movie that I put up there? So I was upset about, hey, maybe I could just show you right now, right here. I wonder if I could. Let me see. There it is right here. Let's see if I can. Removed for community guidelines. So it just shows me like the thumbnail of it, but it doesn't, I can't watch it. Community guidelines, can't show a movie. Maple syrup is everything. Oh, it's so good. Pure maple syrup. I use it for a sweetener as well. I mean, if I could make enough just for me to have so don't have to buy it at the store, I'd be saving at least, what, 20, 30 bucks? I don't have a projected release date, just because I'm just taking it one step at a time, and I'm still on the post-production phase. And so I'm not sure what's going on from there. I'm just doing one step at a time. I wish I could have it by fall of this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm kind of doing everything myself because of budget constraints. You just got the book, The Ageless Vegan. It's really good. Ageless Vegan. Money mustard. Well, I'll definitely be giving out all kinds of updates and stuff here on the channel for that. Also, make sure if you're on Instagram to follow A44 Movie. You want me to? Okay. Linda wants me to tell. We might as well. It's a 14-year anniversary. If anybody searches out or comes to this video, they want to know how I started the channel. So let's tell that story. I know a lot of you already know that story, but yeah, 14 years ago. Wow. I actually came up with the idea for the vegan zombie a month prior, so it was April 12th of 2009. And okay, so those of you that don't know, I used to be a special investigator. So my hair was very short, and I wore a suit and tie, and I would drive for work all over the place. I did a lot of driving, and I did a lot of like investigations, interviews, that kind of thing. And I would drive all around. And one day it brought me to, I don't know, about an hour away from where I am now. I was driving the back roads of upstate New York in my car, and I'm just driving on, and I'm looking at, it's spring, so, everything's still dead, but starting to come around, the trees and everything. And I was just like, this isn't what I thought. And I had already been doing the job for a while now. Actually, at that point, not too long. But I didn't like what I was doing anymore. I didn't like what I was doing, and I was, kind of bummed out. I was like, I can't do this the rest of my life. This isn't what I want to do. I'm not passionate about it. Like, what can I do that I'm passionate about? Like, this isn't me. I don't want to like wake up at 65 and say I'm retiring and this is all I did. Like, this, it sucks, So I started I'm like, well, okay, how about this? What are some of the things that I do like? What are some of the things that I love? And immediately I'm like, well, I love movies. I love movies, particularly horror movies. And of course, I've been vegan for half my life, so that's just a given. So what could I do to incorporate those three things? And I started brainstorming, and I'm like, vegan, I love vampires, vegan vampire. And then I'm like, vegan vampire? No. Vegan werewolf? No. Vegan zombie? That might work. And then immediately I came up with a storyline. I'm like, vegan zombie. I could make a storyline where all the food that people eat, like the meat and the dairy, could be the contaminant that turned them into zombies, and we could have a full-on zombie apocalypse. I'm like, wow, that sounds pretty cool. So what did I do? I went home and I looked up and I said, is there anybody owning the domain name for the vegan zombie? And there wasn't, so I bought it, the vegan zombie domain. And then I'm like, okay, well, I've got an idea for a story. And I wrote a few years before that, even before that, back in 2006, while I was working I was an executive at Target. So I was an executive of assets protection. So I would catch shoplifters. And so a lot of the times, the easiest, it was a fun job at the beginning, and I ended up not liking it at the end. But at the beginning, like back, I was in the security room, so I was in front of all these cameras and stuff. And, a lot of time it's like downtime. A lot of time it was boring, nothing to do. So one of those days I started writing a script. It was only a page and a half long of a little zombie scene, with a character that I guess the main character was based off myself, and then the other character was based off my friend that I was working with, and there was like a little zombie interaction, and I wrote it all cinematic, and I really liked it, but it was only a page and a half, so I never looked back at it until I thought of the movie 3 years later, and so when I went home, I grabbed a legal notepad paper. I didn't even do this on the computer, and a pencil, and I started writing the script. And I had never written a professional script before. So, when I finally fine tuned everything, I had to learn how to write a proper script. But for the purpose that I had it for, I just started, writing out a script for a movie. And I hate writing, but I feel like once I push myself to do it, I'm good at it. So I started writing. I just started going, and I didn't stop until, I had I guess it was a short movie at first because I wrote about 40 pages. And so I had a plot, I had some characters, and I knew what I wanted with it. And so I'm like, I want to make this movie so bad. But then I'm like, because originally I wanted to be a movie director. But when I went to college back in '98, I was like, well, there really was not too much of an internet. Google had just come out. There was no such thing as YouTube. And there was no, the Adobe and all that stuff was no. You just if I wanted to be a movie director at that point, from what I knew, I would have had to know somebody in Hollywood so I'm like, I don't know anybody. I'm not independently wealthy, so I guess it'll just be a hobby of mine to make movies on the side. And I just had to pick something else to go to school for, which is what I did. But then as time went on, we had editing software. We had all this stuff that was right at our fingertips. And I remember one day back when it first started, my dad said, hey, Chris, he would always look at the techie stuff. He would look at the techie stuff. And every time he would see something, he'd email it to me. He's like, hey, Chris, check out this new site. You could upload your movies to here. Because I used to make little movies with my friends and my family, on VHS tapes. And I would show them to my friends. And he's like, why don't you try this new site out? And I looked at it, and it was called YouTube. So I was like, maybe. It sounds kind of cool, but I don't know. And I didn't do anything with it. But then I went back to it. I'm like, maybe I should make an account. So I made an account in January of 2006, just a couple months after YouTube came out. And I started uploading a few different things to it. So I got the hang of YouTube. And then fast forward back to me writing the script. I'm like, well, I already knew what I was going to do. I was like, I'm going to write this script out, and I want to make this legit movie as best as I can. But I want to do it as good as I can. I want to make this as legit as I can without being like a Hollywood director. I want to make the best movie I can at the time. So I was like, why don't I do this? In order to get better at making movies, you just got to go out there and do it. You just got to get out there and do it. You can't just read about it. You got to go out there and do it and make mistakes and learn to do things like this. So I knew that, and I'm like, okay, well, why don't I start a YouTube channel? And I can start doing little zombie skits here. I can learn to do zombie makeup and different zombie special effects, visual effects, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, at the time, there was no vegan channels. There was no vegan cooking channels. I don't even know if I saw any cooking channels on YouTube at the time. I remember seeing cooking segments on the daily news. At the end of the news, it's like, hey, today we're gonna make whatever they made, and it was boring. So I'm like, you know what? This will be funny. Why don't I make a vegan cooking show that was set in the zombie apocalypse? That way I have a vegan cooking show, and if anybody wanted to watch it, it could, promote veganism, teach people how to make different foods, but it would also hopefully keep their attention enough to watch it, to watch the zombie skits I do. And I could be doing what I really wanted to do was learn the craft of movie making with the zombie scenario there, but in the same tone, I could promote veganism if anybody wanted to see it. I didn't think anybody was going to want to see it. I just wanted to make the movies and put them on YouTube, and if anybody wanted to see it, cool, but if not, I was making the videos that I was making to get better at this. With my movie making is what I was doing. But I was really freaking shy, and I did not want to be in front of the camera. I was very stage fright, all that stuff. I wasn't confident, and I wanted to always be behind the camera. In fact, I was completely different than I am now because I was so secretive. I did not put any pictures of myself up on MySpace or anything. I was very secretive. My real name wasn't even up there. And I was like, I got to be whatever. I never wanted anybody to know who I was or anything. And then, so I met up with John, who was, you know, originally John. I met John because he was one of my youngest brother's best friends in high school and in school, and he would always come over to our house. I watched him grow up, you know, from the time that they were really, really young, and you know, and then I you know, he knew that I was vegan. And then later on, that he went vegan, and then I hung out with them when they graduated, and I got to know them a little bit better. So I knew them at that point. That was like 2000. But 2009 comes around, and I'm like, John, I've got this great idea, and I was wondering, you'd be the perfect person to do this. Do you want to be the host of my show? You could be, like, basically you're a chef in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. So you're going to act kind of like a little bit crazy that like you've been alone for so long because you're surviving in the zombie apocalypse. But so that's your character, but you're going to be making vegan dishes that, you know, we can share with whoever wants to watch it. And he's like, yeah, I want to do that. So the first video we did was stuffed shells and bruschetta. And, I didn't think anybody was going to want to watch it, but like we had like, I don't know, I think like 60 views. I'm like, that was way more than the amount of people that would ever. So that's what a lot of people complain by not getting enough views, because I only got like 5,000 views, you know. But if you had 5,000 people in front of you, like back when I used to make movies before YouTube, I would have just my family and a couple friends would watch my videos. So I don't, 10 people maybe, 15 people. And that would be it, you know? But then when we had 60 people watch our first video, I'm like, oh my God, 60 people watched my video. I was like, I can't believe it. We got to do more. And then after that, it was like 10,000. And then it turned into like 100,000, then 300,000. And I'm like, oh my God, this amount of people are watching our videos. And like this, so we just kept doing the videos. We just kept doing it. And eventually our viewers, you guys asked us to make a cookbook, and we're like, we don't know how to make a cookbook. Like, how do we do that? But we ended up doing it. We ended up doing a Kickstarter, and we raised almost three times what we were looking for, which I didn't even think we were going to get the initial amount that we were looking for. But we did a better cookbook than we originally planned. And then a few years after that, back in 2018, we did another Kickstarter for the movie. For those of you that don't know, we were successful with that. And that was many years in the making. And finally, last year, we shot the movie. So I have the movie right here on my computer. And so now, you know, it's post-production time. Editing the movie, which is a very intense project for me to do right now. So anyway, that brings us up to where we are right now. We've had so much fun. We've met so many unique, really cool people by just because I came up with some crazy idea. We've traveled the world. Literally, we did our cookbook tour all over Germany. We were invited to be the talent. We did a vegan cooking demos on like vegan cruises, and we were invited on that like 3 or 4 years in a row, where we got to, I had never been on a cruise in my life. I had never really been out of the country except for Niagara Falls, Canada. And then after, you know, doing this, we're invited everywhere. We're doing all these things, and it's just amazing. Like, all, you know, the impact that we've had just from just a crazy idea of a zombie apocalypse, you know. And but that's originally what the videos were, and I was the one behind the camera. And the reason why I did all these crazy, it's funny because there's a guy on YouTube, and I forget who, on Instagram, and he's pretty cool. I follow him, and he does, some of you guys probably, I forget what his name is, but some of you might be familiar with him, but he shows you really like common household things to do. Like, you know, when you're done eating your banana, don't throw away the peel, save it and do this and do that. Like, you know, he's like really intense. And he explains the reason why he's like that. He's like, I only have a few seconds to gain your attention before you swipe away. So I have to gain your attention. And that's exactly what I did back 14 years ago. And there's a video of me talking about that. I have all these angles of John, like, right up here and right over here. And like the way I edited it was I wanted people to like be like entranced in the video, whether you liked the meal, the recipe we were making or not. I wanted people to be like, oh my God, I can't turn away from this because like I want to see what happens next. He's like all over the place, It's just very entertaining. That's what I wanted to do. Unfortunately or fortunately, I guess I can't really say unfortunately because it made me grow from who I was to who I am now. But as time went on, John didn't really want to do it anymore. He had his own reasons and he kind of pulled back away, and it got harder and harder for me to make. I wanted to do more videos. I wanted to do so much more. I wanted to do a traveling show like Guy Fieri, but I wanted to make it a vegan version. And I wanted to do a whole thing where I went to different restaurants, vegan restaurants, and did that. And John didn't want to do that. And I was like, oh no, like I realized I don't really have a channel without John because everybody knew John. And I was like, oh my God, like what do I do? And then I realized even more because it was my idea and I directed these and half the recipes were his and half were mine, but nobody knew who I was. And it felt weird. Like when we would get invited and we would go to like Veg Fest and stuff, and people would come up, they'd be like, oh my God. And they'd hand me their camera. They're like, here, can you take a picture of me and the vegan zombie? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'd take pictures and they'd ask him all these questions, but like the questions weren't really, they were questions that for me to answer, not him. And, I didn't really care because I still wanted to be anonymous because I knew it was my thing. I knew I owned it. Like it was my thing. And John never tried to take it away from me or anything like that. But he kind of like, I think he started to get, we have a video where he talks about it, but he kind of got like a little bit of anxiety doing it after that. And like, that was me. I was the one that I couldn't get in front of people. Like I wasn't able to do that. But he didn't want to do it anymore. And then I remember one night thinking about it and I was like, wow, if he leaves right now, like I lose everything that I worked so hard for. And believe me, this was the hardest I've worked on any job or anything that I've ever had. And it was the most passionate I've ever been about anything because I believed in it and it made me passionate. And I knew not only was I doing things that I loved, but I was also helping people and I was helping animals. I mean, every chance we got, we went to different animal sanctuaries and, we helped do, different like dinner parties to raise money for different organizations and stuff. We did so much through this and it never would have been possible without this. And I saw that he was trying to step away and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose everything I have. Like, what do I do? Do I find a new host for the show? And then I was like, or do I just do it? And I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm afraid to be in front of the camera. I hate the sound of my voice. I hate the way I look. I hate all these things. And I can't do this. But like, if I don't do it, I lose everything that I love. I lose my passion. I lose it all. So I'm like, oh my God, like I could get somebody else, but then I have to rely on them. And that was the other thing, trying to rely on somebody else all the time. And John wasn't always free to do all this, So I made the decision, like, I'm like, I have to do this. It would be so much better if I only had to rely on myself, so I'm like, all right, I'm doing this. What can I make? I've been making tofu for decades, so I know how to make it wrong. So now I've done it, wrong so many times. I know how to make it right. So why don't I make how to cook tofu right? And I got up there and I felt like a fraud. Like I felt like everybody wanted to see John, and I was a big disappointment. And I went up there and this video should have only taken maybe half an hour to an hour to make. It always takes a little bit longer to shoot a video than it does to actually cook because you got to, set everything up and prep it. And now I'm shooting this. I don't remember if I had somebody to help me shoot it at that point or not, but if I was using because right now I often, unless I have somebody like Craig or somebody else to help me shoot it, I'm using tripods, which means I can't get as creative as I used to when I'm behind the camera, like getting up there for those, like, you know, different angles, like low angles, high angles, you know, right? Like I can't do all that, you know, I mean, unless I set the tripod up for each like scene, and it's so time consuming. So it's nice to have somebody else to help you out. But I didn't have that. And I remember, if you watch the video, it's the first video I ever did without John. And I think I was like, half the video, I was like, I don't know where John is right now, but he should be back any minute. Like, I'm sure the zombies, he's a survivor. Like, he should be back. Like trying to like tell the audience, like, don't worry, John will be back sometime. And I know I'm not what you want to see. You want to see John, but like, I'm all you got, or else the channel's gone. But I didn't want to say that. So I'm like, I need to do this, and I need to be okay with it. And a video that should have taken me an hour took me like 8 hours, because I hated every take. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I sounded. And I did so many different takes because I just couldn't be in front of the camera. I mean, I cannot, like, you turn the camera on, I can just talk, and I can do it now. But I've been doing that since, like, for however long it took me to do it. I think it was like 2015 or 16 that I took over like that, but maybe it was even earlier. I don't remember. So yeah, I was like, I did the recipe, and then I edited the video, and I was cringing at that video. I still do when I watch it, but I uploaded it to the channel, and I was so hesitant. It took me like forever to click the button to make it go live. And I told myself, I'm going to make it go live. And I know right off the bat, somebody's going to say something like, because I was not cut out for, like, you know, somebody was going to give me a really bad comment, and I was going to be like, all right, I'm taking it down. So I uploaded it, and I was like, and then I'd refresh it. Do I have any comments? And if they're bad, I'm deleting the video. Any comments, I'd refresh it. And the first comment was like, oh my God, I love this. And I'm like, oh. And then I refreshed it again, and like, they were all like positive comments. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, really? And it turned out to be like my second or third highest viewed video of all time. I think it's like the third or fourth, somewhere around there. How to cook tofu right. That was my first video. And I ended up not taking it down, and I ended up getting a little bit more confidence to do another video. And then each video I did from then on in, I got a little bit more confidence to the point where I was able to go to, a Veg Fest or an event that people asked us to go to and do a cooking presentation in front of a large audience, something I could never do ever. And now I'm doing that. In fact, I'm doing one here in Syracuse on this coming up Saturday. So I got to think of something to make. It's kind of last minute, but I'll make something cool. But yeah, it kind of helped me, the channel and the progression of the channel and all the things that happened. So in one sense, it's unfortunate that, we kind of lost John. He didn't want to do it anymore for whatever reason. We kind of switched roles, where he said that he had anxiety doing that, being in front of everything, which I was the one that always felt that way. And I turned into, like, because he never was like that before. He'd get in front of everybody and talk, and I wasn't. So, and that's the story. I don't have anything else to say. Everyone's going to watch the tofu video. Hope not. I don't, I have so many problems with that video. You can tell the difference of how I was nervous in that video and how I acted to how I am now. I thought like that I had, it just was, cringe. But it got me to where I am now, and it's definitely changed me. I definitely have a lot more confidence getting in front of the camera and talking, because I basically told myself, I'm like, look, I'm the best one on earth to tell my own story. There's nobody better than me to tell my own story. And that's what I did. I'm like, look, I just have to tell my story. I've been vegan for almost 30 years, you know, like, I mean, I'm the best one to tell my story. And I feel like, you know, I don't have a degree in veganism, but I am an expert in veganism because it's how I've lived my life, the majority of my life. You can't get any more expert than living an experience, you know, and some of you out there, like, you have a unique experience the way you lived your life, which nobody else has. So like, this is my experience and it's my expertise talking about what I'm talking about. So I usually, when I do a demo, I touch on that. First, I talk about how I went vegetarian and then how I went vegan. And then I talk about how I started the YouTube channel. I probably don't go into as that much detail as I just did for you guys. But I talk about that. And then I talk about the channel a little bit. And then if anybody asks me any questions, like, I don't think I've ever really been stumped on any vegan question because I've seen, like, 30 years is a long time, and I've seen it all. I've seen so much happen, so many different scenarios and instances, you know, being vegan, you know. So the other thing is these anti-vegans out there, they hate people like me and you guys that are long-term vegans, because according to them, we shouldn't be alive. And if we are alive, we definitely shouldn't be healthy. And we should look like we're like 100 years old when we're only like 20. So all of those things are against, I don't know. It's like, I've been vegan longer than some of these anti-vegans have been alive. So sorry if I'm missing some of these questions here, people. Jason, I do have old school videos of me skateboarding. That's all I used to. Actually, I have VHS, but when I moved to Florida, I went to a pawn shop and I thought I was balling because I found a Hi8 camera, and that was like the cream of the crop back then, like getting a Hi8 camera and filming with a fisheye lens. So I bought a Hi8 camera and I would film everything that we did. All my friends skateboarding, just goofing off. And there is a video that I have that I found of me. It's like the only one, because I wish I had more videos of me eating things back then as a newbie vegan, but like I had no idea that the future was gonna be the way it is. So I never filmed anything I ate or anything, but there's one video of my skateboarder friends and me, and I let them hold my camera, and they started filming me as I was walking through the grocery store back in Sarasota, Florida, and I was like buying tofu and, you know, different things. I think I bought a baguette, and I was reading the ingredients there, and it just, you know, just a vegan meal that I was buying. But yeah, I could definitely, but if you want to watch that kind of stuff, go over to my other channel, because I probably won't upload it on this channel. I'll do it on my second channel, which if you go to my channels here, anybody that wants to know, if you go to the Vegan Zombie and it says like suggested channels, you'll see No Egg Craig and John and all that. But the first one there will be my second channel. Go over there, give me a follow, and I'm going to start posting more stuff over there. And I do want to skate more. I want to skate some this year. I already did a little. I skated last month. I was at my parents' house, and my brothers and I and their kids, we all went for a walk around the neighborhood. And of course, I pulled my skateboard out of the trunk of the car, and I started doing some kick flips and stuff. Hey, Barbara, thank you. Yep, you caught me on a 14-year anniversary 2 days ago. I'm 2 days late, but, you know, what's 2 days? Oh, yeah, I know who Chef Babette is. You have the tofu video on a playlist? I got to do some more tofu videos because, like, yeah. Yep. So that's my story. anybody that's coming on now is like, oh, he's not even talking. And I feel like I just got out of breath talking for way too long. No, there is a video where he brings up a video on me, and he says some bad things about me. But I went ahead and I did a rebuttal video on him. So there you go. That one is on this channel too. But then I started seeing some people just trying to I feel like they did it for views. They try to start like a argument with you, and it was just like, whatever. Think what you want. It's always fun because then I'll get people saying like, like I have a viral meme. I've got 2 of them now because 2 different people on 2 different occasions. I think we just lost the stream. Let's see if we can get it back. You guys can still hear me. Here's the webcam so you can still see me, but we lost all video. Boom. Let's deactivate and reactivate. There we go. Boom. Okay, we're back. There we go. I always freeze. It's really cold down here, so sometimes it just freezes, and I freeze. Dad joke, even though I'm not a dad. Yes. The audio won't freeze. It's not my computer because this is a brand new computer. It's not the cable because I've had 2 cables. It's the camera. It's a Sony A7 III. The port is just garbage. It happens a lot. I'm not surprised. Natalie, I don't think I've had chickpea tofu, but I have had pumpkin seed tofu, pumfu. Dun, 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 dun. What was I just saying anyway? I was on to something, then I froze. Oh yes, I've tried other cameras throughout. This one is, this one isn't like the best. This will shut off after 29 minutes, and I think John has the same one as this. And then I have some older cameras. This is a really old camera. I had this back in 2000. This is a mini DV. Look at that. Look how old that is. This is a prop in the movie A44. I use this camera in A44. We used this very one right here. But I've got some other cameras like this. I have to save these and preserve them. Not only because, whatever, but because I have got a lot of videotapes that are filled with really cool stuff that I haven't looked at in decades. So I've got to digitize that on my computer. I always say that when I get time, but I don't have time. I am working on a movie right now, so that's one of the reasons why there's like no time, out of time. Oh yeah, what was I saying about the wait, I thought we went on to something else after this, the spherage. Oh, that's what they said too. If I'm a long-term vegan, that's what he said. He said you're either unhealthy, you're gonna die, and if you are vegan over 5 years, you're not actually vegan, you're cheating. And I'm, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh, that's what I was saying. I had some viral memes of people saying like, they're like, man, you got to stop the vegan diet. You look like you're 35 years old. Your skin looks horrible. Just quit. And it's like, this is so interesting because you're saying I look like I'm 35 years old, which you read the title of the video wrong, which means that's pretty incredible because you legit think I'm 25 years old. But you want to be mean and you want to say that I look like I'm 35 years old, but I'm actually 47. That's pretty impressive. So, once I was like, thank you to the comment, they deleted it. But I screenshotted that comment, and that comment is viral. Everybody posts that comment like once every couple months, and like it gets tens of thousands of likes. Everybody else gets a bunch of likes on my thing. I don't get the likes, but maybe I should repost it. My camera's retaliating against me. Do I like this house? This house that I'm living in now. I do like this house, but it's not my house. I'm renting it. From what I know, Rob Zombie is not a long-term vegan. He's a long-term vegetarian, and he recently went vegan within the last, I don't know, like 5 or 10 years maybe, but he was a long-term vegetarian, from what I know. Yeah, I look younger when I shave. Wait, I had to look over to see if the screen froze again. That was just me, like, being catatonic. I'll move so it doesn't look like I froze. Mm, 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 mm. My camera's deficient, just like me. Well, my camera does, I don't know. My camera's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I know that he's a very long-term vegetarian. Yes. But I don't think because I remember thinking like, man, he should just go vegan. And that wasn't like, I mean, that was within the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years. So I remember thinking that like he should just go vegan. And, so I don't know for sure, but I know he's vegan now. He's definitely vegan now. And on the set of his movies, he has all vegan food. How do I know this? Because I went to a horror convention and I stood up and asked the question to one of, what's the guy's name? He was in his Halloween movie. He was in The Walking Dead. He was in a couple other movies too. But anyway, there was the kid that played the young Michael Myers was there. Sid Haig was there. I talked to him. But anyways, the one dude, I'm like, when you're on the set of a Rob Zombie production and it's time for lunch, is it all vegan food? And he's like, why? Yes, it is. And it's very delicious, So I look 27. Damn rednecks are 30 and look 50. But I'm a redneck, so I was out there chopping wood today with my axe. Betty White, I believe she at one point was saying she was vegan, but I think she was more of a vegetarian. But I don't know. I didn't hang out with Betty White. She was always plastered over like vegan news sites as a vegan. So perhaps she was a vegan. We hear a lot of celebrities that are vegan, but a lot of them do it for like dietary, and then they'll like cheat and stuff like that. Like Jared Leto is one. Like I think he for the majority of his time eats vegan food, but I think he will cheat. And I know a couple of people that were home chefs for him, and I asked them, and everything he ate was vegan. But then you got people like Moby, who I know Moby in real life, and he's a real vegan. So, and Joaquin Phoenix, he's another one that he's a real vegan. He's been vegan longer than pretty much most anyone. No, not Jeffrey Dean. His name, I think either his first name or last name was Lewis. If you go to my video at the horror convention with No Egg Craig, the Scaricon, where we talked to Sid Haig, you will see that. The other amazing thing was when I stood up to ask the question, he pointed at me and said, "Vegan Zombie," and I'm like, holy shit, he knows my name? Like, so that was pretty cool. Yo, everybody! I'm the redneck vegan coming right at you from the country roads and the back hills of the forest with all them ticks, and we're gonna make some moonshine tonight. But don't worry, it's not. I can't make real moonshine because I don't drink. I'm the straight edge redneck. I don't know. Is that how? I mean, I guess I'm kind of a redneck, right? Did I see Moby's latest tattoos? On his arm, animal rights. The one on his eye. He just did a documentary about hardcore and veganism. And guess who's credited in the very end of the movie? The vegan zombie. You want to know why? Because they used some of my footage from back in the day when I went to those hardcore Earth Crisis shelter shows, The Lost Horizon, back in the 90s. And yeah, they reached out to me and they wanted to use some of my footage. So I've got footage in a movie. Joaquin rides horses? No, I did not know that. Yes. HIF just said the movie came out with the vegan documentary. That's the one I'm talking about. Yes, and it is free. You go on Vegan Redneck would be like a great channel. Okay, I could do the Vegan Redneck. Today we're going to make some vegan roadkill. That was the one thing that John and I were joking about years ago. We were going to make vegan roadkill. Cuz nobody's made it, right? Vegan roadkill. I just let the cat out of the bag. The vegan cat out of the bag. Hillbillies and rednecks. Is there a difference? Because I'm a hillbilly. I live out in the middle of nowhere, I chop my own wood and Mm-mm. I mean, if my hair's not down and it's in a bun and I'm out there on a hot day, my neck will turn red for real. I get sunburned pretty easy. Mm. He rode horses for movies. Redneck vegans. Yeah, John's good at that too. He puts in like the fake teeth and puts the wig on. Hillbillies are more like inbreeders though, like Deliverance. Battle of the Banjos. Somebody didn't watch Ozark. Oh, I've watched Ozark. The amazing show Ozark with the horrible ending. Mm. Yeah, I don't think I'm not like a real redneck. Like I'm not out there hunting and well that'd be like what, hillbilly? I don't have like chewing off right there, spitting it. I guess that's just a stereotype though, right? I mean, I could do the vegan redneck and I've never actually I think I did go to one Comic-Con back in like 1995, which I only went with a friend and that was it. Other than that, and I think that was in Ithaca. So maybe it wasn't like a real Comic-Con. Maybe it was just some like local thing. But no, other than that, I haven't been. Oh, your husband played at the Lost Horizon many times? Awesome. Yeah, I've been there. The last time I was there was to see Doyle. Doyle from the Misfits. He's like, yeah, come on down, bring your friends. I'm like, all right, we're going to see Doyle. And yeah, that was it. I used to go all the time back in the early '90s, hardcore shows. Do I walk barefoot in Walmart? Yuck. I mean, I'm living in the country right now. I mean, kind of. I mean, it looks like the country, but just a little bit down the road is like the highway. So looking out over the city, I can see the whole city. What city? Just a medium, small city, Syracuse. Am I going to Vegandale, New York City this year? It depends when it is, but I will say this. When Craig and I were in Expo, um, the guy that puts on Vegandale came up to us. He's like, hey, guys, what's up? So he's like, and he gave us his card, and he said, let me know. You're like, it's on us. You go to any Vegandale you want to go to. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. So yeah, maybe Craig and I will go back down there this year. When is it? What is for dinner? Oh my God, my stomach is rumbling. I do not. I really hate. I despise super spicy food. I haven't done it in a long time, but I have taken my own blood pressure. It's always my blood pressure is perfect. Yes, Paul, 14 years of the vegan zombie. Welcome, welcome. Dave, thank you. And congrats on 18 years being vegan. That's awesome. Beyond Steak, you found that at Market Basket? I haven't heard of that. Heavy Metal Vegan, thank you for the super chat there. Metal Cheers, yeah. 14 years. 14 years of Metal Cheers. Cried. What song was I just singing? I was changing the lyrics though. It's not really that metal, but Mountain Folk. The Mountain Folk. Do I feel sad for people who make bad choices like that are hardly active and have bad food choices? I mean, we got one life, you know? We can do what we want for it, you know? I mean, yeah, sometimes it's sad because like how did they get to that point? I don't know. The way I can't really look at other people. I mean, I know how I feel about it, and I feel like, hey, this is only one life. I want to live the best, healthiest life I can. So I do things that are not really detrimental to my health. I try to stay fit. Like I'm like compulsive about that kind of stuff. Like I'm like I could just be in okay shape, but I'm like I want to be in the best shape I can. Like I want to be elite shape, you know, like I mean, I'm not like an Olympic athlete or anything like that, but I still want to be like in the best shape I can, you know? And I don't want to like give in to like, um, you know, the notion that I'm getting older. So, hey, you're getting older. Let's start acting your, I hate when people say start acting your age and stuff. It's like, just because I'm getting older doesn't mean I have to be older. It doesn't mean I have to be like, um, you know, I can still do like, oh, like you're still going to skateboard, you know, like, yeah, I'm just still skateboard and do all the things that I always done. I'm like seriously in one of the best shapes I've ever been in my life, you know? So why not? I think it's also in the mindset. Like once you leave that mindset, you're opening up the possibility that you're going to just, you know, we all get old. We're all going to get old, but like you don't have to, I don't know, be old, you know? We're all going to always get older, but we don't have to look and feel old. We can still feel young and, you know, keep our bodies healthy and young if, you know, we try, if we try to do that. Like, I mean, there's always obstacles, like, you know, like there's always going to be obstacles, but you do the best with what you have. I did. I was raw vegan for back about almost 13 years ago now. I went raw vegan, 100% raw vegan, and I did it for 100% for about 3 months. And then for the next probably 9 or 10 months, I was probably 80 to 90% raw vegan. And then I was just like, no. Richard says, I will never act my age. So I'm with you on that. I agree. I don't act my age. I never really, I guess when the age was where I was, like maybe 18, 19, 20, maybe I was acting my age. But I probably wasn't even then. And now I'm probably acting the age that I should have been back then. Probably now. It is just a number, isn't it? It is. It really is. You have tasty peanut butter cups there? Oh, wow. Barbara, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. What exactly that I always thought that too. What is acting your age? Because like no matter how you act, isn't that me acting my age? It's not. It's maybe I'm not acting other people's age or what other people think my age should be. But if I am acting however I act, that's me acting whatever age I am. So that's my age and that's the way I'm acting. So I'm acting my age, or my age is the way I'm acting. I don't dress my. I mean, I've had people say, "Why don't you dress your age?" It's like, what does that even mean? 72 zombie crew members in here. Hey everybody, how's it going? We have 70 viewers. You're trying to make a fake vegan salmon fillet. So you're going to make a real vegan salmon fillet. Are you going to do it with tofu? Because that would be good. You try to go raw vegan in the summer? Super Mario. Yeah, but what, like, I mean, there's people that are like 100 that are still out being active and doing stuff. I don't know when I'll die. Nobody knows when they'll die, but I hope that I'll live if as long as like, you know, I don't get hit by a bus or something stupid, but I hope that I can live to 100 or more. Impossible burger, meatloaf, and green beans. Oh, I just planted a bunch of green beans. I got like out there and outside. I'm growing my own green beans this year. Oh, your recipe is from Sam's blog. Okay. It's probably tofu. breastfeeding a child isn't a vegan. If it's the mother, then yeah. I mean, technically, it's like not plant cells. It's more animal. I mean, we're humans. We're animals. But that would be a mother giving. I mean, then you would say, like, can a vegan kiss another vegan and swap spit? Can you, do other things like, oral sex or whatever? Like how far are you going to go with that? So no, I would say that breastfeeding your own child, if the mother's vegan and the child, yeah, and you're raising your kid vegan, I would argue that, like, I would just say, like, you're not cutting down or hurting any animal in the process. It's the mother and the child. That's like a special bond. But, people like, and I'll say it again, people get really pedantic about things. And I could see how somebody could argue that it wasn't, but that would just be like one of those shake my head, no. Because there's a lot of animals in the wild that are plant based, herbivores, and they will breastfeed from their mother. So, like, that's just kind of a fallacy. Jeez. It's dairy. It's dairy. The mama dairy. Um, it's the milk that is made for the baby, for nobody else but the baby. So the baby's getting the milk that the baby needs that came from the mother. The baby came from the mother's body. The baby was part of the mother, and the baby is drinking its milk. That's the baby's milk. So you could say it like that. You could say that milk is part of the baby. That milk was part of the mom. The baby was part of the mom. And when the baby came out, the baby is continuing. The baby is being fed by the mom when it's in the mom, and then when it comes out of the mom, it's drinking the milk from the mom that is made for the baby. That is reserved for that baby. That's that baby's milk. That's part of that baby in a way. So, yeah, it's vegan, 100%. Oh, the French toast recipe. Now I'm getting hungry. You guys are going to make me shut this stream down and go make some food. Mm, 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 mm. Well, we've talked about a lot of things in this episode. You ate a salad while watching? I kind of want to make a salad with some dandelion greens. There's so many dandelions out here. And they're super good for you. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Have I ever made s'mores with Vego? I have not. I have not made s'mores with Vego, but I have made s'mores with peanut butter cups. I like that the best, making like a peanut butter cup for the chocolate. What did you guys think of the Fluffernutter? Thoughts on Elf? Are you talking about Elf? Yeah, you can hide anything right there in the smoothie. I put some what some sprouts, some frozen sprouts. Was it broccoli sprouts? Threw them there. You can't even taste it. You just throw them in your smoothie. Oh, the flowers are already out, so maybe they're already too bitter. But I know the entire plant is edible and it's very healthy. You want to make your own peanut butter cups? It's fun. I've got a recipe on this channel for peanut butter cups. Do I ever get a craving for something that I choose not to eat? Yes, a lot. Yes. Never anything that's not vegan, but yeah, I try to stay away from. I've got so much junk food, and I try to stay away from it, and eat it sparingly. Like for instance, I'm doing a pretty good job because I'm sitting next to a whole box of Vego crisps right here. Which is in my latest video, by the way. These Vego crisps, they're super. Well, I'm not going to tell you if they're good or not. Go watch my video. I try them with my parents. My parents try them, so maybe you want to go check that out. And we got some Vego. These are like little dots, little buttons. They melt super fast too. Like you put it in your hand and it'll just melt right out of your hand. So I'm not sure if it's tempered. Probably not. NoFX are calling it a day. They are? They're calling it a day. Together in the sand. We walked hand in hand. A vegan chimichanga. I'll try to remember all your suggestions. Do I still make bread? I haven't made any of the sourdough bread that I was making. But I have made like a loaf of regular like crusty bread, but not like I was making it. So yeah, probably no, not really. But you just made me really hungry. You made my stomach growl. I'm trying to grow a lot of my own produce, and one of the things that I've never tried to grow that I have a lot planted right now are potatoes. I want my own potatoes. Deviant has arrived. Aren't you supposed to put those buttons with milk? No, I mean, I guess you could, but it's just like milk chocolate, vegan milk chocolate, but I melted them down and made I made Easter candy with them. Ooh, that sounds really good, Sabrina. You just ate a small bag of no-nos? That's a no-no. Oh my god, those are so good too. The vegan M&Ms by No Way Chocolate. Potatoes are better. Well, we have a thing called salt potatoes here in Syracuse. Oh my god, those pierogies. So, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is Zeke. It's called Green Hills Farms. I've only been there twice, and they also have these pickles I really like. Oh my god, these pickles, the taste of these pickles. My friend had them when I was a little kid, and his dad would get them in these big buckets, and we go over there, and I'd just grab them, and they were so good. And I've never found one that tasted like them until just now. So pickles and pierogies. So this is the cool thing. Those pierogies that I found there, they're vegan. I already called the company. They're vegan. The mono and diglycerides, vegetable derived. $1.50 for a bag of them. So you might want to go there and get some, but don't buy them all because I'm gonna go back. I bought 4 bags the other day. I'm gonna keep going and buying more. There's only one flavor that are vegan though. You'll find it. You'll find it. It's in Nedrow area, headed towards Syracuse. Do I ever have to make myself work out? If so, how do I get motivated? Yeah. I mean, I feel like, there are people that love to work out all the time. Like, I make myself work out, and I work out here at home. So that's one thing it's in my court. Like, I don't have to, if you're one of those people, you're like, oh, I know I need to work out, but I don't want to go all the way to the gym. And I'm just going to not do it today. So you can always work out right at your own home. There's a bunch of things that I do. I do a lot of calisthenics. So I'll do push-ups. I do a lot of push-ups. And luckily, the island in my kitchen and the counter are perfect for me to do dips. So I'll do dips, and then I'll have like some dumbbells. So I've already worked out a little bit today with those, and I split wood. So that's a good workout in itself. But if I make sure that I do something every single day. So even if it's like I don't have time, okay, well then go to bed at night 10 minutes late. Work out for 10 minutes and then go to bed. So do push-ups. Like I'll do 200 or 300 push-ups in a day, or I will, or both. And I'll do the dips, and then I'll do like, curls, or, shoulder presses, shoulder raises with the dumbbells, and like, pretty simple, exercises you can do at home, and just do it every day. Like one of the best things that I've found for me is pull-ups, but I don't have a pull-up bar here. So I've been doing extra push-ups to make up for that. And then you can do other things like squats, where you just have weights in your hand and you do squats. You could even do that without any weights in your hand if you are new to that. But, just getting the motivation to do something is basically, I tell myself, I need to do this. I need to do this today. And, if I wasted the entire day not doing it, then I'm just going to do it before bed. So you always have time to do something, even if it's just a little bit. At least that's how I tell myself. I actually prefer not to go to the gym. I prefer to work out right at home. But every time Craig invites me to go to the gym with him, I usually go. Yeah, and I don't feel good if I don't. If I don't work out, I don't feel good. Like I feel like something's wrong. Make it normal that you do at least something every day. If you can only do a few push-ups, do a few sets of as many as you can do. I usually do sets of 50. I'll do 50. I'll take a little break. I'll do 50, and I'll keep doing that until I'm at like 300 push-ups, 200 or 300. At least I know that I did all those. And there's different ones you can do. Like I'll do, regular flat. I'll do push-ups, with my arms close together. Great for your triceps. Further away are better for your pecs. And then putting your feet up on your couch and doing them are inclines. So, there's so many different ways you can do push-ups. And if you're not good at them, do them on your knees at first until you're better at them. So push-ups are great. They're not only good for this, they're a good core exercise too. They're good for your core. Yep, yoga's. I've never done yoga, but it's good. It's good to do yoga. If you're moving hard and fast daily, that's all you really need. You need to get out there, and you need to get your blood flowing, and that should be it. Like if you're It depends what you're looking to do. If you're looking to be a bodybuilder, you need to be in there in the gym or have a bunch of stuff at your house to do that. But if you're just looking to be in shape and have that cardio, then walk or run and lift things and push-ups. Calisthenics are great. Boxing is a sport. Jiu-jitsu is great. Yeah, I made my own pickles before. They're nothing like the ones I'm talking about though. Squats when brushing your teeth. Perfect. I used to always stretch because I was into ninjutsu and jujitsu, and I had this whole lineup of different stretches I used to do. I used to be very flexible. Um, Stretching is something that I probably should start doing again. That I kind of stopped doing after my back surgery. You just go outside running and screaming at the top of your lungs. Do you know what movie I thought of when you said that? I thought of Mel Gibson going outside and running around the house at the top of his lungs with Joaquin Phoenix. Name the movie. Who's going to be the first one to name the movie? You just took your B12 while watching vegan. That is a level 5 vegan. That's probably the secret level 6 vegan. Jessica, I am a very, very night owl. I sometimes go to bed when the sun comes up. But I make sure to get, I'm not a morning person, so I am a very late night person. But I try to get at least 7 or 8 hours of sleep, so, I stay healthy with my sleep. And then if I wake up around noon or 1, like I spend the rest of the day doing the work that I need to do. I prefer to be up late at night. That's right. Who got it first? HFDF Signs. Signs is the movie. I always thought that part of the movie was pretty funny. Like, because he couldn't swear because I think he was like a pastor or something. So he went out there and he's like, oh, darn it. I haven't seen that movie in a long time though, but Signs. Everywhere Signs. Name that song. No, I'm just kidding. Stop. Um, I take zinc and vitamin D, and I take Nigella sativa, black seed oil. I don't know. It keeps me really healthy. You have a delay there. Maybe you're living in the past. Holly, I know you're a night owl because if I message you, you usually write back. Do I regularly go to a chiropractor? I have never been to a chiropractor. What do I win? What do I win? Another shout out, right? How do I say your name? I'm just gonna call you DF, HDF. Yeah, sometimes I'll just fall asleep with the dogs. But the thing is, I gotta let them out really late. I go see the full moon. The full moon's been out the last couple nights. Well, not technically, it was a couple nights ago on the 5th, but we go outside and, it's all scary back there. Me and the dogs. Black seed oil is great for your immune system. I know. I never get sick. Hold on. I had to knock on wood real quick. No, that was just me. I was me. Now the dogs are going crazy because I had to knock on wood. I never had to knock on wood. I never messaged Killer Queen. Well, you never messaged me, so. Spirulina is good. I was thinking earlier, if I made my own maple syrup, I'd throw some spirulina in there. And then what do we have? We have green zombie maple syrup, right? Am I still doing? No, I'm not doing a whole. I wish I was doing the whole food. I should be doing the whole food plant-based thing, but no, I'm not. And I still avoid oil, but like if something has oil in it, then I might, processed food. A lot of processed food has oil in it. I mean, I'm sure. Well, you know what? Actually, I don't think that these do have oil in it. You know what doesn't? These actually don't have oil in it. These Reese's. There's no palm. There's no oil. There's no oil. You're a big fan of Rocky movies. It's funny because I think I told that story when I went to the first time I ever saw Rocky. I was a kid, and I was at my friend's house, and we all had to be quiet because we were watching Rocky, and my friend's dad would be like, don't talk when we're watching. So we had to like all sit there, and I'm like watching Rocky, and I remember after that, my favorite song was "The Eye of the Tiger," and I got a little record for Christmas in the '80s, "Eye of the Tiger," and I remember opening it. And I saw the record, and it was like two sides. So I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh!" And I put it down. My mom goes, "Chris, did you read the record?" I'm like, "It's just a record." And she's like, "Did you read what song it is?" I'm like, "It's Take You on a Saturday." She goes, "Oh, well, what's the other side say?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, Eye of the Tiger!" And I like jumping up around. I'm like, "Where's the record player?" So yeah, Rocky. I was just saying, I froze again. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, there we are. We're back. We're back. Reese's or Reese's? It's Reese's. It is Reese's. And I know that because a very close family member of mine, last name is Reese. And also, there's an old commercial of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and they say Reese's. Reese's. It's Reese's, not Reese's. My hair looks so good. Thank you. I put it up because I thought it didn't. I looked over on the sink. I'm like, oh man, I gotta hide that. But thank you. Hey V, thank you for joining us. How you doing? We've been talking about everything in the stream. We started out with how I started the channel, 14 years ago. Let's play freeze tag. I used to play that with my friends and my cousins when it would get dark out. See, though, there was some times that I didn't have to be home when the streetlights came on. You had the 45 Eye of the Tiger? See? Yeah. And then my mom bought me a ring, and she goes, "It's the Eye of the Tiger," and I like fell for it. I'm like, "Oh my God, that's so cool!" I had this ring, the Eye of the Tiger. I think she got it for me for my first communion. I had to get my first communion, and she got it, and like I was like, "This is stupid." She goes, "It's the Eye of the Tiger." I'm like, "Well, that's pretty cool," but I don't think it really was. E.T. loves Reese's Pieces. Oh, you're from Pennsylvania and you would visit Hershey all the time. I've been to Hershey once. I've been to Hershey, Pennsylvania, driving through, and they have their street lights. This is back in like '94, so a long time ago. But the street light, wow, 30 years ago almost. I'm getting old. Anyway, the street lights were big Hershey Kisses, and it was like a ghost town. It was really weird, but it was like 5 a.m, so I don't know. Have I ever heard of Joseph Lincoln? Of Joseph Lincoln? I have. In fact, there's a couple of videos of us together. We've done videos together before. We've hung out a few times. I know, Reese's Pieces. I mean, they need to make. Who's going to go in on it with me? Who wants to make vegan Reese's Pieces? Well, we don't want to get sued, so we can't. How are we going to do that? Let's just call them like extraterrestrials. I'm giving away all my secrets. God, you guys are making me so hungry. They need to make Reese's Pieces because I mean they got Reese's, they got peanut butter cups. They need to just veganize that. Everything that exists, just make it vegan. Make it better for everyone to eat. And leave the animals alone. Zombie bites. We got zombie fingers. Those are our vegan cheese sticks that we made a long time ago. You're eating tacos? Come on, you're making me hungry. Yes. Adremus. Yes, I've actually had that idea for a very long time. I want to make a trilogy. So the first one was Cook and Survive, and we got a second one and a third one. I already know what I want to name it, so eventually. But the thing right now is I got to finish the movie first. One thing at a time. Movie, and then another cookbook. Am I a big fan of I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead until it jumped the shark. So season maybe 1 through 4, huge fan. Now, like I can't even make it through season 11. I'm trying. Like every maybe year and a half, I'll watch another episode. I don't know. Ooh, I love cocoa nibs, cacao nibs. I usually put them in my smoothie. Oh, fenugreek. Ah. Yeah, they're not going to go vegan. They're not going to go vegan for the vegans. They do it for, Amish, right? They're to be kosher. Most people aren't going to do anything for the vegans because I think more and more they're seeing it now, but we're still very, very small blip amongst everyone. But we're making a pretty big dent, so keep going. Yeah, when we did Cook and Survive, the original one, like it was back in, I think we made it in 2013 and it came out in 2014. But we just wanted to make the foods that people said, well, I can't go vegan because I can't do without this, or I can't. So we just made a bunch of comfort foods pretty much. So that was what it was. And this was like way back, like that was before I was trying to be any kind of super healthy or anything like that. So, the second book I want to call Cook and Thrive, which is more of a healthy book. And then the last one, I'm not sure what I'm going to call that yet, but there's well, why don't I just show you? Because unfortunately, this no longer exists in print. You can only buy the ebook, which you can buy on my site, Cook and Survive is the cookbook by John and myself, and the illustration was done by Rob Kramer. And the beginning of it is a comic. It's a story, a condensed version of the Vegan Zombie. And then after that, it turns into all of the delicious foods. They are delicious too. So Some of the pictures aren't that great because I literally did it with the iPhone 4 with like no professional experience. I just was like, oh, I gotta film, I gotta take pictures of all these. We didn't know what we were doing, but you know, I mean, come on, that's bad looking ice cream. But this is, I mean, there's like a pumpkin roll. Come on, that looks pretty good. It was pretty good. But anyway, that's the book, and it's got a nice little comic to it. Shepherd's Pie. You want to see a cool video? We went to an animal sanctuary, Woodstock Animal Sanctuary. We got some scary stories there. We went there late at night, and we used their guest house to make some shepherd's pie. Very cool video that we made, and very tasty recipe. And then the next day, we played with the aminals. Cook and Stay Alive. Cook and Glide. Well, I'll come up with something cool. Because Cook and Survive is basically Cook and Staying Alive. And Cook and Thrive is like, yeah, I'm on cloud 9. And, well, I don't mean like you're in heaven like you died. I mean, you're like, okay, whatever. And then the third one would be like, I'll think of something. We got to do part 2 first, you know. This is an award-winning cookbook. It was best cookbook of 2014. Hold on, it's like look at this. Look at this. I don't think I've ever showed anybody this, but here it is. Boom. Libby Awards. Vegan Zombie Cook and Survive. Best Vegan Cookbook. Boom. Look at that. Ready? Come on. Okay, there. Anyway. There it is. I cut my hand so bad on this frame. When this was in storage, I cut my finger to the bone. So I don't hang it up because of that. No, I'm just kidding. It just was, there's nowhere to hang it up. Shepherd's Pie is making me hungry. Who is Rob Kramer? Rob Kramer is one of my friends that did the artwork for the cookbook. His uncle is Bobcat Goldthwait, and Bobcat is in one of our videos as well. Bobcat is in our salt potato recipe, if you guys want to check that out. That was a fun video. Yes, Rob is a friend of mine, although I have not talked to Rob or seen Rob in quite a while. A few years. Thank you, Adremus. Huh. Wait, oh yeah, my cookbook was in the bundle a few months ago. Yes. But right now it's this, you can get it on my website separately. No, there aren't any really smoothies in this book, but I want to put the smoothies in Cook and Thrive. I mean, everything's not going to be cooked, but a smoothie is not cooked. With less smoothies? Oh, you want a cookbook with less smoothies? Well, probably not the next one because I'm going to have more smoothies. I love smoothies. I love smoothie bowls. Wait a minute. He did that on Larry Sanders' show. I thought he set it on fire on David Letterman, wasn't it? Or am I wrong? Or was it? Yeah. Smoothies are what you run on. Me too, but I haven't had one today. You're downloading my book now, this second. Wow, thank you, Killer Queen. I appreciate that. Enjoy the book. Make sure when you download it to a computer first, and then you can transfer it to a tablet or a smartphone. Or that's the best way to do it. Yes, I always do smoothie bowls. I actually prefer smoothie bowls over smoothies lately. And I'll put, I've been putting like Michelle's granola on it. Oh, that's what you were saying, Sabrina, because I was like a Chinese restaurant in Philly. But you meant restaurant. What is my favorite thing to put it? Well, this is how I usually make all my smoothies, and they taste delicious. Frozen banana. If I have it, which I do, frozen mango. And then I put some cinnamon, usually a scoop of peanut butter. I know you're like, what, with mango? I'm like, yeah, just do it. It's still good. And then I'll put a scoop of my protein powder in, which I've been going through different protein powders, but right now I have, I have Sun Warrior vanilla. I prefer the vanilla because then I can, if I want to make it like chocolatey, I put the cacao in it. But then I said cinnamon and oat milk. And I'll blend that up. If I'm going to make a smoothie bowl, I still try to make it pretty thick. If I'm going to have a smoothie, I'll make it thin. So I'll put more liquid than the frozen bananas. And that's pretty much my smoothie. I also have, it probably doesn't matter, but it's this this healthy mushroom powder. I don't like mushrooms in mushroom form, but there's a company called Host Defense, and it's like this immunity stuff. It doesn't really make it taste any different, but I'll usually put some of that in there. And the last one I made, I put some frozen sprouts in there. You can't even taste it, and it's really good for you. So it's great for it's like an anti-carcinogen. You have my ebook on your old tablet. Well, you better keep that tablet handy in the zombie apocalypse. Oh yeah, free content. I can't tell you anymore. Prank call. It was a prank call. Hey, I froze again. I froze. Why is that doing that? It's like my camera hates me. I don't like adding water or anything to my smoothies. I like using the plant milk. Yeah, 22 days nutrition is still my favorite. But yeah, I haven't seen them anywhere. I wish I did, but no, I don't see them anywhere anymore. Berries are also great. Blueberries are great in a smoothie. Sometimes I'll put some spirit. There's so many different things I've tried in smoothies. But if I'm just gonna make a quick one, that's pretty much what I do. You know what? I have some sea moss, but I haven't tried it yet. Sonia, you're gonna make a vegan restaurant called We Beat Your Meat. Where are you gonna open that? Mm-mm-mm. When you have to choose between eating and sleeping, you choose for sleeping. Hmm. We beat your meat. That is pretty that's a pretty cool name, actually. You can look at it so many different ways. Makes people think. In your town pumpkin center? Orange and oat milk taste like yogurt and so good. Orange and yogurt. Oh, I made some really good tofu the other night. Well, the tofu already had its texture. I just kind of like flavored it really nice. Can you see that? Let's see. Come on. Look at that. Look. Just look at it. Anyway, it was really good. Well, I'm running out of things to say, so that photo is yeah. Yeah, that tofu was super good. I wish I had some like rice or something with it, noodles. But I just ate the tofu. Have a good walk, Killer Queen. I probably will be going very soon, so. Am I excited to see The Cure? Yes, I've never seen them before, and it's my favorite band. So. Everybody wants to make tofu now. You saw The Cure in '88? Nice. Where? Where were they? That would be awesome, but I would be like, well, that's before they made Disintegration, my favorite album. Okay, cool. Well, I figured, I'm not the kind of person that likes to go to big crowds and shows. In fact, like I'm like kind of like not looking forward to that part of it, but I'm like, if I don't go now, I might never see them, and I have to go. I have to see The Cure. It'd be like one of the only bands I would go to see because I don't like that. I don't like being in a situation like that. Oh, you saw The Cure in 2002. I was living in New York City then. Yeah, I'm going with my brothers. We're like huge Cure fans. Ringo Starr. Four packages of tofu. I haven't been to Costco in a while. Well, uh-oh, what did I just do? I just canceled out of my live stream. Uh-oh. That's not good. Can you guys still hear me and stuff? What did I just do? Oh, you're still here. Okay. Well, I closed out of my main like screen here. That's not good. I wish it was still there, but it's too bright like this. Anyway, maybe we should end this now because we are going on. Oh, 2 hours. Wow. I didn't even expect that. Is it even dark yet? Oh, it's just getting dark. I better go let the dogs out. So anyways, that was my story about how I started the channel 14 years ago. Go back to the beginning and watch it if you missed it. And I think that's it. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you all for hanging out with us. And that should be it. Yeah, it's not showing me what I need to look at. All right. Thank you all. Have a good night and don't let the zombies bite. I'll talk to you guys all soon.